All right, so let's start out. I blame you, black man, but we're going to start out with it. If y'all don't know, you know, everybody's keeping up with the news. I know it's a shocker all over the world right now. Serena Williams is marrying a white man. How many of y'all Periscope are shocked about that? How about y'all on Facebook? Y'all shocked that she's marrying a white man? Did y'all ever did you ever thunk it that it would happen? I never thunk it. Because I know Serena's from the, she's from the hood of Compton, California. She grew up in the hood. And maybe that's why she's marrying a white man. Let's see what the Bible says about that thing. Give me Jeremiah 2:21 first. Whoever get it, read it first. We're going to see if we can pull out some understanding for that.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 2, verse 21. Yet I had planted thee a noble vine.
So God said to you Israelites, you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, he planted us a noble vine. Upright people. Had commandments that was wise. That was great commandments that made us wise out of all the nations that seen us. Above all of them. But what happened?
Holy, a right seed. How then art thou turned into a degenerate plant?
What happened in the process of time? We turned into a degenerate plant. If anybody, you Google right now what a degenerate plant looks like. It's all corroded, it's worn down. You can't even tell what kind of flower it is. It's hanging over. It's degenerate, degraded is basically what it is. God said, how did you turn into a degenerate plant when I made you an upright, righteous, wise and understanding people? I tell you how he did it. You forgot who you was. You went and started mingling with the other nations. You wanted to be like them. You started putting in Indian weave in your hair.
Oh, that's the beginning. That blonde hair.
That blonde hair you got in your head.
Right.
You got some money. You moved up out the hood. You said, I'm never going back to that place no more. You got kicked up out your homeland, Jerusalem. You forgot who you was and you became a degenerate plant. You know what that means? When we, as a people, the Israelites, when we try to act like the other nations, we downgrade ourselves as a people.
That's right.
That's what God said. We ain't upgrading ourselves because we got some more. We can tuck in our shirt with a nice suit, three-piece suit. You ain't upgrading yourself in God's eyes. He said, you degenerate. You going down as a people. Give me that in Deuteronomy 32.
Bring it up.
Let's see how we became a degenerate plant over a process of time. I think it's verse 25, Deuteronomy 32, verse 26.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32, and verse 26. I said, I will scatter thee into corners. I will make the remembrance of them to cease from among men.
That's how we became that degenerate plant. First thing happened is we broke God's commandments. He said, for that, I'm going to scatter you into corners. I'm going to scatter you all over the earth through the 1619 slave trade, the conquest of the Americas in 1492.
That's right.
Of the 1700s when Andrew Jackson came over and took over the North America, and sent the Indians he sent them down to Cuba, he sent them to Puerto Rico, he sent them across seas, he sent them everywhere back. He sent them to England, it didn't matter where they was. He shipped them out on slave ships too. He scattered us through all the corners, and in the process of that, what happened to us?
I will make the remembrance of them to cease from among men.
We have forgotten who we are. We've forgotten that we are the Israelites. We've forgotten that we got laws, we got statutes, we got commandments, we got a heritage, we got a way of life. We forgot all those things. And what are some of those laws, statutes, commandments, and heritages say and tell us to do when it comes to dealing with these other people? Give me that Deuteronomy 7.
Bring it out.
Yeah, Deuteronomy 7. I know it's a lot of you Becky-loving brothers out there that's about to hate this thing right now. Right. You might got a Becky right next to you, or a Su Fong Wong next to you. You better repent. You might got a Rashida Raham next to you. That's the East Indians. You better repent, because God gave you this law to keep. Give me that Deuteronomy 7.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 3. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them.
You shall do what?
Neither shalt thou not make marriages with them.
So God is telling us as the Israelites, we shall not make marriages with them. He's talking about the other people that he created, the other people on the earth. Don't make marriages with them. You cannot love whoever you want to.
Right. That's right.
Love ain't love in the eyes of God. No, it's only between his people. You love a woman that is of your nation. And we're going to get that a little later on to prove
Before
that.
you do that, this is the reason why. Same chapter, jump down to verse 6. This is the reason why
Bring it
the
out.
Most High put that commandment in full force. Read.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7 and verse 6. For thou art an holy people.
The 12 tribes of Israel.
Bring it out.
All right, you blacks and Hispanics and Native Indians, God says you are a holy people, set apart, severed from all. Read.
Unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God have chosen thee.
Come on.
To be a special people.
Special people.
Right.
So for you to mix with something lower than that, come on now.
Man, you downgrade yourself.
You downgrade.
You losing value.
You downgraded.
You losing value,
Come on
man.
now. Read. Keep on reading.
The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
Right. Hey, just look, we're going to put it in layman's terms for you. For you brothers that got Becky Sue Ann and Chu Wong Fong as your side mate. God says you above all people. And when it comes to high class royalty, rich people, they don't go out and marry poor people.
No.
They don't do that. You don't never see the daughter or the dukes or the daughters of whatever you would say, what you would call it, the Hilton Hotel.
Right.
You ain't gonna see her marry some bum on the street because he got a nice sign.
Right.
She saw something in him that didn't nobody else see. She ain't gonna do that. So we as the Israelites that are above all people, God says what? Verse 3 again.
Neither shall thou make marriages with them.
Don't make marriages with them because you above them.
Right.
You ain't equal in no way, shape, form, or fashion. Read on.
Thy daughters shall thou not give unto his sons.
You black man out there that got that read it again.
Thy daughters thou shalt not give unto his
So
sons.
you black man that got daughters out there, you shouldn't. If another nation come in your house, you should not be saying, "I bless this marriage."
There we go. That means Serena,
whenever this dude, what's his name?
Right.
I don't know what the heck his name is. Give me a good Edomite name for him. Bill. When Paul Bunyan come home, Serena's father should be like, get him the hell up out of here.
Right.
Don't bring him nowhere near me.
Exactly right.
God said, don't make marriages with them. What you doing?
That's right.
You breaking the commandments. So you shouldn't make marriages with them. Don't give your daughter to their sons. Read on.
Nor his daughter shall thou take unto thy son.
So if he brings in Becky Ann, your son, don't say, okay, love is love.
Right.
It is what it is. He can love whoever he wants to. No, you better check him.
That's right.
Check him with the commandments of God. Go right back out that door. Don't come back in here until you bring an Israelite home. You bet not be messing with them no more. Thus saith the Lord.
That's right.
Read verse 4.
For they will turn away thy sons from following me.
They will turn away you from following God. Ain't no ifs, ands, buts about it. You ain't going to want to hear the words of God because the words of God is telling you all those nations is going into captivity. How can you wake up to a wife, to a husband like that one day, you roll over to him, you're going to be a slave one day, but I love you while I'm here on earth. Nah, that don't work. Come on now. God said you're going to turn your back on him because his truth is going to cut you every day you wake up. Go ahead, Austin.
Hey, let me get Ezra. Ezra chapter 10 and verse 10. I'm gonna bring out 3 scriptures. Ezra 10 and 10. Watch this. Whoever get it.
The book of Ezra, chapter 10 and verse 10.
Come on.
And Ezra, the priest, stood up and said unto them,
What he say?
Ye have transgressed.
You have what?
Transgressed.
Transgress means to break. You have broken something. Read.
And have taken strange
You
wives.
have broken God's commandments by taking strange wives. They're strange. Watch this though. Read on.
And to increase the trespass of Israel.
Increase trespass. Read on.
Now therefore make confession unto the Lord God of your fathers.
God of your father, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Read.
And do his pleasure.
Do his what?
His pleasure.
His pleasure. It pleased God. Read.
And separate yourselves.
It pleased God that the Israelites separated themselves
That's heavy, boy. That's
from
heavy.
these other nations. It pleased him.
He's
Read on.
happy.
Read on.
And separate yourselves from the people of the land and from the strange
Watch
wives.
this though. Watch this though. Watch this. Watch this. Get the book of Psalms real quick. Real
Man,
quick.
that's
Get the book of Psalms.
you want to please God and you got another
Right.
nation by your side. You want to make him happy?
No.
Put Becky out. Put Bill out.
In the book of Psalms, chapter 22:18. Real quick. We're going to two scriptures. God says strange wives, right?
Psalms 22:18.
Because 22:18. Because God is very specific how he feels about the other nations.
Bring it out.
I'm gonna just bring this out real quick. 22:18. Read that.
The book of Psalms, chapter 22 and verse 18. They part my garments among them
Talk about Christ. Read.
and cast lots upon my vesture. But be not thou far from
Verse
me.
17.
Verse 17. I may tell all my bones.
16.
16.
Sorry.
Psalms chapter 22 verse 16. For dogs have compassed me.
For what?
For dogs have compassed me.
So the question is he literally talking about roof? Is he literally talking about roof dogs?
Right.
Read on.
For dogs have compassed me. The assembly of the wicked have enclosed me.
All right, watch this. Go to Matthew chapter 27, verse 35. It says, dog has compassed me, right? They parted my garment. Is he talking about roof? Or is he talking about a nation
Let's
of
see.
peoples? Matthew chapter 27, verse 35. Read that.
The book of Matthew, chapter 27, verse 35. And they crucified him
And they crucified him.
and parted his garment, casting lots,
Read.
that it might be fulfilled which was spoken by the
Who
prophet.
was the prophet that spoke it? We just read it in Psalms.
Right. David.
So who were the people that were called dogs? The other nations.
That's right.
That's why God says they're strange.
That's
They're dogs in the eyes of God.
That's right. That's right.
They're dogs.
Right.
And low key is spiritual bestiality.
yeah.
Hey. Boy, that was cold precept right there, Uncle Man. The Lord gentleman too. You committing bestiality when you sleep with these other nations. Because God called them dogs in the Bible.
Dogs. Rough.
That's cold precept.
That's cold precept. So understanding that, God said, you shall not make marriages with them, for they will surely turn you away from them. Because you're going to love your dog more than you love God. Ain't that something? Woo. You better check yourself. Check yourself if you find yourself in that situation. Like you see with Serena Williams marrying Bill Lumberjack, whatever his name is. That's his name for today, Bill Lumberjack.
But is it all her fault? It's not all.
No, it ain't. We gonna get to that. We ain't there yet.
Oh, okay.
Give me 1 Ezra chapter 8, verse
There we go.
69. 1 Ezra chapter 8, verse 69. What happens when you laying down with these other nations?
The book of 1 Ezra, chapter 8, verse 69. The nation of Israel, the princes, the priests, and Levites.
So the princes, the priests, and the Levites, that is us, the 12 tribes of Israel. Read on.
Have not put away from them the strange people of the
There
land.
we go with that strange word again. Why is God calling all these people strange? He don't know them. It's just like somebody knocking on your door. You tell your kids, don't talk to strangers.
Exactly.
God telling his kids, don't talk to these strangers. Don't you lay down with them. Don't you marry them. I don't know who they are. Them are strangers. The people that I know are the 12 tribes of Israel. You marry them. You bring them home to me.
That's right.
Thus saith the Lord. Read on.
Nor the pollutions of the Gentiles, to wit, of the Canaanites, Hittites, Perizzites, Jebusites, and the Moabites, Egyptians, and Edomites.
And the who?
Edomites.
Who did Serena just marry? A so-called Caucasian.
Edomite.
God calls them Edomites in the Bible. God says they are strange people to him. They don't do nothing. He say he ain't got no relationship with them. He created them, to be a slave to his chosen children. That's it.
That's
Read verse 70.
verse 70. For both they and their sons have married with their daughters.
Oh, they have did what?
Married with their daughters.
We done mixed and mingled with them, took on they marrying them, turning away from our God. Read on.
And the holy seed is mixed with
Hold on. God said that we have a what?
holy seed.
So that's what you brothers got to understand. It ain't just sex when you laying down with them. You are mixing your holy seed with an ungodly dog. Your holy seed is mixed. You putting it into a dog in the eyes of God.
Take heed, Israel. Y'all need to take heed.
You chosen. You above them. And God said, you mixing your holy seed with a dog?
That's
A strange people that I know not? Shame on you. Read on.
And the holy seed is mixed with the strange people of the land. And from the beginning of this matter, the rulers and the great men have been partakers of this iniquity.
Of this what?
Iniquity.
This sin. We have been partakers in this great sin. Laying down with the enemy like Serena's doing is a great sin in the eyes of God. And it ain't just her. It's a whole bunch. What's that other dude's name? Tay Diggs? Oh, Tay Diggs, the dude that playing Power.
Terrence Howard.
Terrence Howard doing. Danny Glover. Nat.
the played Nat Turner.
The dude that played Nat Turner. Nate Parker.
Nate Parker. Yeah,
Jamie Foxx.
there you go. That's another one.
What's that old dude that got the Jerry curl in his head? Lionel Richie.
Lionel Richie. Yeah, kids and everything.
You laying down with the enemy. Mixing your holy seed with a strange dog. God says, thou shalt not do that thing. But go to Sirach 26. I'm going to show you what you're supposed to do. Sirach 26, and I want verse 19. Sirach 26 and verse 19. I hope you're being edified here. But guess what? I blame you black men.
The book of Sirach, chapter 26, verse 19. My son, keep the flower of thine age sound, and give not thy strength to strangers.
Give not thy what?
Thy strength to strangers.
Your strength that you have is your ability to reproduce that holy seed. That's your strength. What did Reuben say to, what did Jacob say to Reuben? He said, thou art my strength, the beginning of my excellency. That's what he told his son. So when you mix your seed with that ungodly dog, you are giving your strength over to another nation. That's why they rule over you. Because you're in the midst of sin. Read on.
Verse 20. When thou hast gotten a fruitful possession.
A what?
A fruitful possession.
Ain't nobody more fruitful than the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Who God called the Israelites.
That's right.
Issachar, I know my so-called Mexican brothers. God called you Issachar in the Bible. Y'all have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 kids like water, like drinking water. God said you fruitful. Ephraim, you so-called Puerto Ricans. God calls you Ephraim in the Bible. What do you have? A lot of kids. That's why he called you Ephraim, which means fruitful. You so-called blacks, I know you are multiplying captivity.
Oh, yes.
That's why it's a whole lot of us over here. That's why they had to put abortion clinics in the black communities. Because we are a fruitful people. Read that again.
When thou hast gotten a fruitful possession.
When you find an Israelite wife, an Israelite husband, read on.
Through all the field.
Throughout all the people in the earth, read on.
Sow it with thine own seed.
Sow it with who?
With thine own seed.
With your own people. Sow that seed, that holy seed you have with your own people. Read on.
Trusting.
You doing what?
Trusting.
That's why you got to do it. Hold on, but that's the reason why our people don't do it. That's why Serena went and looked for another nation, a white man. She didn't trust in her own people. That's why you married Becky. That's why you like Su Wong Fong. You don't trust in your own people. You got to trust in your own people. Trust in the what though?
Trusting in the goodness.
Trust in the what?
In the goodness.
That's the problem with you black men out here. You don't think none of these black women, these Israelite women, are good.
There you go. That's
You think they know good dogs.
And they treat them like that.
And you treat them like that. We know that some of them are ratchet. We know some of them ratchet. But guess what? That's because you ratchet.
That's right.
If you was in order, they would be in order. Because they follow you. Trusting in the goodness of thy stock. Read on verse 21.
So thy race.
So thy what?
So thy race.
Race is in the Bible.
That's right.
So your race, not another race. Because look, just imagine this, man. Just imagine this with Serena. She had kids by this strange dog. Jack Lumberjack, or Bill Lumberjack. And she had kids with him, and they just happened to get the athleticism of Venus Williams. Now your race that you're leaving behind, well, it ain't even your race because it's gonna be his kids. But everybody in the world gonna think they black because they doing everything that Serena's doing on the tennis field. They gonna be magnified. You're increasing them because them ain't Israelite kids, those are white kids if she has kids by them. You're increasing their population, not your own population.
That's right.
Read verse 21 again.
So thy race, which thou leavest, shall be magnified.
Shall be better than when you came on the earth. That's what's supposed to happen. Make babies with your own people, your own fruitful possession of people. But what causes you to go sleep with another nation? That's the real. It's because people say it's love. It's love. I don't see color. Yeah, whatever. God know why you're doing it. Give me that TOBIT. TOBIT 4. What's the real reason why we got Jerome marrying Becky? Why is Shanita sleeping with Alexander? Why? What's the real reason for that? Give me that TOBIT 4 and 12.
The book of Tobit, chapter 4 and verse 12. Beware of all whoredom, my son, and chiefly take a wife of the seed of thy father.
Most importantly, take a seed of the wife of your father. Take a husband of the seed of your people. Read on.
And take not a strange woman to wife.
Man, why does God keep saying that over and over again?
Yeah.
He's saying strange, strange, strange. Because he don't know them. You keep trying to fit them into God's program. God said, I don't know these people that you keep bringing home to me. I don't know them. I don't want to know them. Strange woman to wife. Read on.
Which is not of thy father's tribe.
Which is not of thy own nation. Read on.
For we are the children of the prophets. Noah, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Remember, my son, that our fathers from the beginning, even that they all married.
Speed it up, go ahead.
Even that they all married wives of their own kindred, and were blessed in their children, and their seed shall inherit the land.
So God says, when you make marriages with your own people, those children are blessed. Why? They Israelites.
That's right.
That's why they are Israelites. Read on.
Now, therefore, my son, love thy brethren.
Do what?
Love thy brethren.
Love your own people. That's what we got right here with Serena marrying a white man. And I know all of y'all that watch this video gonna be like, well, she stood up for her people. She boycotted a tennis tournament because they talked bad about her, or she was very vocal about the way that they treated black men. God says if you marry another nation, you don't love your people. No matter what you say, what you do, God said that. Read on.
Now therefore, my son, love thy brethren, and despise not in thy heart thy brethren.
And do what?
Despise not in thy heart thy brethren.
Hate not in your heart your own people. When you take a nation, a wife of another nation, a husband of another nation, being a Israelite, a black, Hispanic, or Native American, God says you hate your own people in your heart. Thus saith the Lord. If you think different, take it up with God and see what he said. Right. He knows your true intent. He says you really truly hate your people. You hate black men. You hate black women. You hate Hispanic men, Hispanic women. That's why you married them other nations. You was trying to separate yourself from your own people. Said you hate them. That's thus saith the Lord. Give me that in Sirach 14 and 6. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Read verse 12 again.
Yeah, go ahead.
Read verse 12 again.
Yeah, jump in, whatever.
The book of Tobit, chapter 4, verse 12. Beware of all whoredom, my son, and chiefly take a wife of the seed of thy father.
So God says, beware of all whoredom. When you sleep with these other nations, you playing the whore.
You playing the whore.
God says, beware of whoredom.
Be warned.
And chiefly take a wife of the seed of thy fathers. When you sleep around these other nations, God said, you a hoe.
Ha ha! That's what God said. Make it plain. God said you a hoe.
You a hoe, straight up. You playing the whore. You committing whoredom.
That's
by taking other nations for your wife and for your husband.
Wow. That's heavy. That's heavy. Go to Sirach 14. We stand in the Apocrypha. Sirach chapter 14 is called Ecclesiasticus. The white man who enslaved you, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, they took this out of the Bible so you wouldn't know what it is. They took it out so you can always remain in a sleep state. But the Lord put the Spirit on us and revealed to us, that's your book. White man tricked you and took it out. But we found it. And we return it back to our God, getting the understanding. Read that in Sirach 14 and 6.
The book of Sirach chapter 14 and verse 6. There is none worse than he that envieth himself.
Hold on, read that thing again. What did God say?
There is none worse.
There is none worse. Nothing worse than what?
Than he that envieth himself.
Than he that hates himself. God said it ain't nothing worse on the planet than somebody that hates themselves. How do you hate yourself? When you marry another nation. God said you the worst people on the planet. God said that. You the worst person on the planet to hate your own people. You know why it goes, he says that? Because truly, you hate your mama. You hate your daddy that made you. You hate your grandmother. Because they all look like you. But you come along and say, I want to marry somebody that don't look like them. God say, it's nothing worse than you because you hate your whole family. That's heavy. Read it again.
That's another level of self-hate, right?
Another level of self-hate. And you know what that also goes into? You black women that got blonde hair, blonde streaks, green hair, purple hair, weave, it's Indian, this is real Indian hair, 100%. You hate yourself because God gave you woolly hair. God said there's none worse than him that hated himself. Read on.
And this is a recompense of his wickedness.
This is a payment of your wickedness. Because you in the midst of evil, God said, I'm going to make you hate your own hair. You're going to hate your own self. Until you repent, you ain't going to learn how to love yourself. Because I ain't going to reveal to you what I look like, what your forefathers look like. None of that. And you're going to turn around and hate yourself. That's heavy. God said there's none worse than the man that hates himself, a woman that hates himself. Go to 1 Timothy. Because we're dealing with Serena marrying Bill Lumberjack, hating herself, hating her people. What ended up happening though? Because I see a lot of people talking about this in the comments. Is that what? Am I right, Periscope? She got money and she was hanging around white people all the time. I even heard, I didn't look it up, I don't know if it was true, she was sleeping with her tennis trainer before too. He's a white dude.
Yeah, I heard about that too.
Won't be surprised.
Yeah.
And what was it you was telling me, Ellery, Officer Gad, about her father?
Yes. Her father, I ain't gonna say what they know, but her father has Xfinity Comcast service.
Uh-huh.
And her father won't even allow a black technician to come into the house.
Nah. You didn't say, nah, you didn't say her black ass dark daddy said a black man can't come in his house and do his
He don't
cable.
want no black technicians in his house.
Well, we know, now it's starting to make sense. Now it's making sense of why she was sleeping with a tennis coach.
There it is.
She ended up marrying a white man because her daddy taught her to hate her own people.
It started with the father.
Because he hate himself.
There you
That's
go.
why I say, I blame you black
There
man.
you go. All praises.
It's your fault that
Right,
these
topic.
our daughters, our mothers, are marrying these other nations because you won't get in line. Teach them who they are. But they said, some people say she got money, she started hanging around them, and that's why she ended up marrying white dude. Well, let's see what the Bible say about that, getting money. 1 Timothy 6, and start at verse 5. 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 5.
The book of 1 Timothy, chapter 6 and verse 5. Perverse disputings of men of corrupt minds and destitute of the truth, supposing that gain is godliness, for which withdraw thyself.
From such withdraw thyself. So what God is telling you, those that are in Christianity that say the Lord blessed me, it was my season, I got this money, that's why I'm sitting up front. You think they godly, they not at all. He said withdraw yourself from them.
Get away, run away.
You better get up out that church. Because in Christianity, for a fact, they teach that you ain't blessed unless you got money.
There you go.
Right.
That's exactly right.
Am I right, Periscope?
That's the prosperity.
Am I right,
doctrine
YouTube?
there.
Am I right, Facebook? They teach that you ain't being blessed if you ain't got no money. We in 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 6 now. Read that.
The book of 1 Timothy, chapter 6, verse 6. But godliness
The keeping of commandments
with contentment is great gain.
is great gain because you end up getting the kingdom in the long run.
That's right.
It ain't about how much money you got here now, because all that's going to be burnt up. You're going to die one day and leave that.
That's right.
All the cars, all the clothes. It's about what you are doing when it comes to God in your life.
Hey, I heard Denzel Washington make a quote. He said, "You will never see a U-Haul following a hearse."
Oh, right. He
So
did.
you will never see a U-Haul following a hearse.
Right.
Once you go, you go. You can't take that with you.
You can't take it with you. Because, hey, guess what? It's going to say that too. Read verse 7.
Verse 7. For we brought nothing into this world, and it is certain
Without a doubt,
we can carry nothing out.
you can't take nothing with you. So Denzel was prophesying and didn't even know it. You can't take none of that money that you got. All the money that Serena Williams got in the world, she can't take it. All the money that this, he's an internet creator of Reddit.com, can't take it with him in the world. So if you think that marrying another nation is beneficial to you because they got good credit, they got money, they got big houses, God said, you came into this world with nothing, you definitely gonna leave without nothing too.
That's right.
That's why you gotta make sure you get your life right with him before he call your number. Read on.
And having food and raiment, let us be therewith content. But they that will be rich fall into temptation.
Those that are striving to get rich or die trying.
There you go. There you go.
Going all out to play a Greek sport, tennis. Training from their youth up like Serena Williams and Venus Williams did. They that will be rich do what? Fall into what?
Into temptation.
A temptation is that I'm around these white people all the time. Oh, he's starting to look cute to me. Let me marry him then. You fell into that temptation with all that money you got. You didn't know how to use it because you didn't know who you was. Didn't know you was an Israelite. Read on.
But they that will be rich fall into temptation and be a snare and into many foolish and hurtful lusts.
A foolish and hurtful lust is you marrying the other nations. That's a hurtful lust.
Foolish.
You know how? Because you can end up in damn prison anytime she yell rape. And guess whose side they taking, black man? Becky Ann's.
There you go.
Every time. It don't matter what you know how we know that? Because we have seen in 2016 alone, more black men get out of prison after 30 years for supposedly raping a white woman, and it wasn't even true. She just said they raped me.
Look at Nate Parker.
Nate Parker,
That's
right?
another one, right.
They sabotaged his movie Birth of the Nation because she claimed they raped him. Even he was found not guilty. And they said, they don't care, he slept with a white woman, do everything you can to run that nigga's movie into the ground. Make sure nobody goes to see it.
Because look how long after the incident they started to go ahead and get him.
Yup. 14, it was like 14 years.
14 years. 17 years.
And they brought that thing back up. It's a foolish and hurtful
They
snare.
projected it for Oscars and the greatest
All of
movie
that.
ever.
All of that.
And they took it.
It ain't even in the same conversation now.
No, you can forget it.
He fell into a foolish and hurtful lust. Read on.
Which drowned men in destruction and perdition.
Read on.
For the love of money is the root of all evil.
The love of money is the root of all evil. When you get down to the nitty gritty of it, God says that evil stems from money. That's what it went back to. Read on.
Which, while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith.
Err from the faith. Covet after that money. You err from the faith. Read on.
And pierced themselves through with many sorrows.
With many sorrows, like sin. So, but I said, you know, it ain't just her fault. It's her daddy's fault who don't want no black technician in his daggone house. It's her uncle's fault. It's everybody's fault in there that didn't teach her she was an Israelite according to the Bible.
That's right.
So guess what? Like I said, the name of this show, I blame you, black man. For what reason? Let's go to this scripture right here. I think I got it. Malachi 2 and 11. Malachi 2 and 11. I blame you, and guess what? God blamed you too. And He gonna pull it out for you. Malachi 2 and 11. Read that for me, so Jezariah.
The book of Malachi chapter 2 verse 11. Judah hath dealt treacherously, and an abomination is committed in Israel and in Jerusalem. For Judah hath profaned the holiness of the Lord.
He profaned it. Read on.
Which he loved. And hath married the daughter of a strange God.
Oh, you married the daughter of who?
Of a strange God.
There we go with that strange again. God talking about you marrying these other nations is strange. You dealt treacherously with your God and with your people. Read on.
The Lord will cut off the man that doeth this.
Or a woman. Read on.
The master and the scholar out of the tabernacles of Jacob.
So He don't care what kind of fame or prestige you got. He don't care if you're world famous, the greatest tennis player to ever live on the face of the earth. You marry another nation, He gonna cut you off and put you to death.
That's right.
Read on.
And him that offereth an offering unto the Lord of hosts.
Jump down to verse 14. Because I said I blame you, black man. Read it.
Verse 14. Yet he said, wherefore? Because the Lord hath been witness between thee and the wife of thy youth.
The wife of thy youth is any Israelite woman that God has created on the face of this earth. He's been witness. He's seen what you men have done. Read on.
Against whom thou hast dealt treacherously.
They did what?
Dealt treacherously.
You have dealt treacherously with these black women, these Hispanic women, Native Indian women out here.
The proof is in the pudding.
The proof is in the pudding. You dealt so treacherously with them, they can't find love amongst you. They go to the other nations for love.
That's
You know how we know that? Venus didn't start off talking to this dude.
No.
She was talking to who? People like Common, Drake, used her and abused her.
There you go. Bring it up.
She couldn't find love amongst her own people because they was dealing treacherously with her, using her for her body. You know how many memes on Facebook or on the internet about Serena and her backside or her breast or what she looked like? Yeah. It's a bunch of memes. You Israelites have used and abused and dealt treacherously with these women, so they go into these other nations. I blame you for what they doing.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Because if you was in order, they wouldn't do it. They would not do that thing at all.
Because remember, the Most High is dealing with the men.
Right.
He's dealing with the men. The men needs to get in order first.
Right.
All right, the black man, Hispanic man need to get in order first. Then he'll begin to work with the women.
That's right.
All right, so
read verse 15.
Verse 15. And did not he make one, yet had he the residue of the Spirit, and were for one, that he might seek a godly seed.
A what?
A godly seed.
We read that earlier, didn't we? A godly seed, a holy seed. That's what he wants out of us, a holy seed. An Israelite man marry an Israelite woman. An Israelite woman marry an Israelite man. So he can have a holy seed, a godly seed on the earth. Read on.
Therefore take heed to your spirit.
Be warned to your spirit that lust after those other nations. Read on.
And let none deal treacherously.
Deal what?
Deal treacherously against the wife of his youth.
Don't deal treacherously with the wife of your youth. You look, bring it out, man. I'm glad you brought that thing out. Scroll down on that thing too to that part I was talking about. Go ahead.
The definition of treacherous. Guilty of or involving betrayal.
Oh man.
Or deception.
That's heavy. Read that thing again. Read it again. Read it again. I want you to read the synonyms too to it.
Okay. Treacherous. Guilty of or involving betrayal or deception.
You have betrayed your black, Hispanic, and Native Indian women when you go marry Becky.
There we go.
You betrayed them when you married Su Wong Fong. And same thing with you, Israelite women. You betrayed your black man when you go sleep with them. So yeah, you are a traitor.
Yep.
You're a traitor to your race. That's what God said.
God said.
You deal treacherously. You're a traitor. Read on.
Some synonyms. Traitorous. Disloyal.
Oh man.
Disloyal.
Deceitful.
Deceitful.
Deceptive.
Deceitful. You use them only for sex. You say, I love you, baby. I want to marry you just for sex. Read on.
False.
You lied to him.
Backstabbing.
You a backstabber.
Untrustworthy.
That's what God said. You black man, deal with the wife of your youth, with your own sisters. You a backstabber.
Unreliable.
Oh my goodness.
Unreliable. That's
Unreliable.
right there.
Huh?
That's most of the women right there. They think the black man is unreliable.
Exactly.
The Hispanic man, unreliable.
Right. And that's what God said. Judah, you Israelites, you have dealt treacherously with the wife of thy youth. That's why they go into these other nations seeking love. You ain't dealing rightly with them according to God's laws. I blame you, black man. It's time for you to repent and set your house in order. Right. So your daughters don't grow up and marry a strange dog, that God says.
Right.
He said, keep saying it all through the Bible, a strange person, right? Let's see. Now, I said treacherously, right? So let's prove that. Read that article we got blown up right there for me. One of the soldiers. Read that. There's one part that I want to hear. Go ahead. What happened to it? Oh, title. Go to it again. Go to it. Oh, the title is Serena Williams owes black man nothing for her white fiance. This is on the Griot, December 30th, 2016. Serena Williams owes black man nothing for her white fiance. Let's see. Go ahead. Read that.
The most decorated woman in sports history has time and time over proved her blackness, even though she never had to, including showing her appreciation for black culture and the importance of its preservation. Serena Williams has stood defiant as a black woman, even when black men
did what?
Disrespected her with sexist.
With what?
With sexist.
Disrespected her with sexist. How did they do that? Y'all know what they're talking about. Periscope, YouTube, Facebook. When they seen Serena, all they saw was a woman with a big old booty. That's it. They didn't see her for nothing more than that. God said you dealt treacherously with your people, with your wives. Disrespected her with sexist, read on.
Misogynistic. Transphobic.
Saying she looked like a man because she's built like that. That's what black men say about her.
Black women too.
Black women too. Read on.
Remarks over her looks or for simply being a passionate,
posed up black woman.
posed up black woman.
Bossed up.
Oh, bossed up black woman.
That's what God's saying. That's why he said, you black man of Judah, all the 12 tribes, you dealt treacherously with your own women. You disrespect them and use them only for sex. And you're unreliable, untrustworthy. That's why they going to the other nations, because you ain't getting right. Give me Proverbs 8 and 4. I got a few more scriptures here. Proverbs 8 and 4. So what's it going to take for our black women, Hispanic women, Native Indian women who God calls the Israelites to stop marrying these strange dogs like white people, Chinese people, Arabs? What's it going to take? Give me Proverbs 8 and 4.
The book of Proverbs chapter 8 and verse 4. Unto you, O men, I call.
Read it again.
Unto you, O men, I call.
God is calling out to you, Israelite man. It's going to take for you to answer the call. Pick up the daggone phone in your head that God's calling you.
That's right.
He's telling you you're an Israelite from the tribe of Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Ephraim, Manasseh, Naphtali, Gad, Asher, Reuben, Issachar, whoever it may be. He's calling out to you. Read on.
And my voice is to the sons of
He's
men.
speaking to you, but you refuse to answer the call. How's he calling out to you? Right here over Periscope, right here over YouTube, right here over Facebook Live.
That's right.
Speaking the words of God, he's calling out to you. Ezekiel 34:31. Ezekiel 34:31, and somebody else give me Zechariah 7 and 11.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 34, and verse 31. And ye my flock, the flock of my pasture, are many. And I am your God.
You're the flock of God, you Israelite man, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You are the man that God is dealing with. He ain't dealing with Paul Lumberjack. He ain't dealing with, what's that dude's name? Joseph Prince, the Japanese, Chinese preacher.
Oh yeah,
Joseph Prince. He ain't dealing with him. He ain't dealing with John Hagee. He ain't dealing with Chris Amawutu over there in Africa, the airbender dude.
Right.
That was, and then all the people fell on the ground. He was an airbender.
Eat grass.
Yeah, making them eat grass. He ain't dealing with them. He's dealing with you Israelite man, you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Give me that in Zechariah 7 and 11 though. But what happens? He's calling to us, and you hear the words of God, but what do we do? Read that.
The book of Zechariah chapter 7 verse 11. But they refused to hearken and pulled away.
That's what we refuse to hearken, and we do what?
And pulled away the shoulder.
You know what that means? They pulled away the shoulder, you turn your back on God's word. You ain't trying to hear it. We call out to you in the street, you watch this video and you X out of it. These niggas reading the Bible? X out of that, man. Where the big booty shaking, twerk your hoes at?
Here we go. Absolutely.
God calling out to you, but you turn the shoulder, you turn your back on him. And for that reason, you got your women out here going marrying the other nations.
Right.
That's right.
Read on.
And stop their ears.
You don't want to hear nothing God said. You stop. You ain't trying to hear that, man. Stop reading that Bible, man. Turn that off, man. Close that Bible. Don't come over here with that Bible. I ain't trying to hear it. You stop your ears. Is that it on that?
No, sir.
Go ahead.
That they should not hear.
Oh, that they should not hear the words of God and set your house in order. So what is God telling you black men to do that you dealing treacherously with your counterparts, your wife of your youth? Hebrews 13 and 4. So that's why I blame you black men for what Serena's doing. It ain't her fault. It's because you won't stand up. You won't answer the call that God has had. Common hoard her out. Drake hoard her out. Football players probably hoard her out. Basketball players probably hoard her out. Seen her for nothing but sex.
That's right.
Didn't want to marry her.
Was that transphobic remarks?
Transformers remark. Told her she looked like a man.
Come on.
Hey, you gotta understand what that can do to a sister.
Right, bring it out.
That can straight up destroy them, man.
Right.
My own people think I'm a man with them now. I'm gonna go to
somebody who think I'm pretty then.
Exactly.
Esau love me for who I am.
Right.
There's more on that. What that say?
Oh, let's see. Let's read that. Read that highlighted part.
Apparently, the fragility of black masculinity happened to forget the name of the most decorated woman in sports history as her engagement for whatever reason seemed to be a direct attack against their manhood.
Against their manhood. Oh, so she married another nation. Now you're mad. Now you're mad. You wasn't caring that she was getting whored out by your own brothers, but she married somebody of another nation. Now you're mad. Now, what? We black men ain't good enough?
Man, nah.
No, in your unrepentant state, you not.
You niggas are crazy.
Because you don't know how to treat these Israelite women according to the Bible. So they go to these other nations and they don't know how to treat them either. But they just looking for love somewhere else. They looking for love and can't find it amongst you because you dealing treacherously with your own people.
Bring it out.
I blame you black. Shame on y'all for that. But we here hoping that somebody hears the voice of God calling out to them through the scriptures. And they repent and do this. Hebrews 13:4. Whichever one got it.
The book of Hebrews, chapter 13 and verse 4.
Read that thing some power.
Marriage is honorable in all.
What is?
Marriage is honorable in all.
Marriage is honorable in the eyes of God. Not boyfriends, not a fling, not a jump off, not my old lady, not an understanding, not a friend with benefits. Whatever term you made up to justify your sin of dealing treacherously with our Israelite women, God says marriage is honorable in his eyes. That's what he set up from the beginning. Read on.
And the bed undefiled.
Now whatever you do with your good-looking, voluptuous Israelite woman that God created for us, God said that bed is undefiled. Whatever you do in that bed is okay with God as long as it doesn't violate the laws in Leviticus chapter 18. Dealing with sex. Nothing wrong with that if that is your wife.
Right.
So if you're laying down with a girlfriend, God says it's defiled. I do not honor it. It's no love in that to me. She's a whore and you're a whoremonger because you refuse to deal uprightly with her. You're dealing treacherously with her. You can leave her at any time you want to. That's treacherous. You're not reliable to her.
That's right.
That's what we read, the synonyms of treacherous, right? Unreliable.
Yep.
Marriage is reliable to the woman. Marriage is reliable to the man. Because you know why? Because once you get married as an Israelite believer, you end this until they end.
That's right.
Shalom, Israel. I'm Elder Nathaniel, Israel United in Christ. YouTube likes to shut our channels down, as some of you have noticed, ever so often. Subscribing to join IUIC will assure you will always stay connected to our YouTube accounts. We want to do our best to make sure this truth gets out. Please click and join our subscriber YouTube channel called Join IUIC to stay linked to all of our videos. So again, please make sure you subscribe to this Join IUIC channel to get your latest updates from all our YouTube channels. Shalom.